Hey man, just got home from Big Lots, picked up some stuff. Just kidding. It's another bag of stuff that I found from conventions. I probably picked these up at the last year, 2017. Look, I've shown you Redlines that I've purchased before, but I like going room to room. I pick up little dollar stuff as well. Well, scratch that. Not everything is dollar stuff. Here you have a Purple Passion. That was the asking price, $80. I do not recall what I spent. Picked it up a while ago. Last year. Heck, if I didn't buy it in the last week, I don't remember most of the time. Toy Fair 2003. And there is the Highway 35 logo. That was the theme during, right? 2004. So 2003, they made a Toy Fair car. This was available, I believe, at, I don't know if it was a private Mattel Toy Fair event or if it was at the New York Toy Fair event. I'm not sure, because sometimes Mattel does their own thing. I mean, they're big enough. They're a big enough toy company. They can have their own toy fair. Give you a look at this one. After this, you know, all the other stuff is going to be a lot less valuable, so to speak. It's pretty cool to get something with the Highway 35 logo on it, especially if you're a fan of that era. As far as I know, look at that big, fat, white wall tires. Love them. Real riders, rubber tires. As far as I know, Purple Passion did not appear in Highway 35. You experts would let me know. 55 Chevy panel. This is smaller. You know, regular cars, right? I think it's just Scupa de Fuego. I'm going to have to be looking at names, guys. Super Blitzen, wrong one. This is a regular Hot Wheels size, right? Super Blitzen. Let me take Super Blitzen out of the bag. And you can see it's a lot smaller. Do they have the scale? It might be 185 or something like that. I forgot the scale. It's kind of for a train, for the train hobby, so that they can display it with their train tracks. Hey, who's Mr. Toys? I don't know who that is. Anyways, there's a little 55 Chevy panel. No opening, does not have a rear opening hatch. The full scale version does have, or used to, not anymore. Used to have an opening hatch with a motorcycle in the back. Might even have the same decorations. Pretty good quality for such a small diecast. And these weren't cheap. I don't know, you've seen the price, $9.99, but that might be a secondary price. But still, these were not cheap. Maybe they were $5. If you guys remember, post a comment, let me know, remind me. I think those were the two biggies. Again, Super Blitzen. We'll have a look at Super Blitzen. You know, there's people in the rooms, they sell dollar stuff too. It's not all expensive stuff. A lot of times when you find this loose stuff, they basically did a mail-in, right? They mailed in, and then they turn around and get their mail-in car, and then they have a bunch of loose cars because they took it out of the packaging. They took it out of the package because they needed the UPC. BMW 2002, I do believe. After this, I'm going to open them up ahead of time. Yes, BMW 2002, regular release. I don't believe it was part of any series. In the back, you have the Governor. This was a holiday release. I already have several, but with me and my Track Time channel, you know, I want to test different cars in the booster loops and curves, but I like to have different colors of each model. And this version of the Governor, just one of my favorites. The Governor actually has quite a few decorations, quite a few releases that I like to collect. I wouldn't mind have all of them in the back. You can see that orange baggie. I actually have a few in the baggie behind, so let's just go ahead and look at all three at the same time. This model right here, here we have the 2010, no, the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. This model right here, this one tends to show up in multi-packs. Now, I don't know if this orange one was in a multi-pack or if it was in the singles. I'm not sure. But it sure looked nice in this orange color. The Acura HSC Concept. This one, I'm pretty confident that it was a multi-pack. We haven't seen it in the, I don't even know if it's ever been in the singles, to be honest. Probably has a long time ago. But it tends to be a model that they like to recolor and put in multi-packs. You can get quite a few colors with this type of graphic on the side. Yeah, I guess they just keep reusing the same graphic scheme. Acura HSC concept. Base code, no base code. Oh, that must mean that it's older than 2008. I think 2008 was the first year they started with base codes. Aston Martin V8 Vantage. Like this car. I'm getting every color of the Aston Martin. Just a sweet looking car. As a matter of fact, I just have one sitting right here because it came in that Hot Wheels subscription box. The Aston Martin 177. Both of these, I'll be getting every color. I love them both. Love the Aston Martins. Really glad that Mattel has them in the lineup. Of course, red cars are nice too. Nitro Scorcher. This one has a F12 code, so it's only a few years old. A Nitro Scorcher, I got two different color samples. This one from during the era when there was Hot Wheels Test Facility, HWTF, Hot Wheels Test Facility. There's a look at the temples. Both of them red, and Mattel actually has quite several red releases of this model. Matter of fact, when it was first released, it was in red, and they called, guess what? That wasn't the first name. It was originally called Ferracin. Yeah, it's called Nitro Scorcher now. But when they first released it, they called it Ferracin. That's funny. Ferracin, it looks like it's Ferrari red. Well, I guess Ferrari didn't like it, and next thing you know, Mattel changed the name. You know what? And if they had to get a license from Ferrari, maybe we won't see this. Well, I don't know. They call it Nitro Scorcher now, so maybe we can still see it. And I had another red one in the pile. You probably recognize this shape right here. This car's been around for a while. You have Jet Threat 3.0. Of course, I got to get this one. Red, white, and blue. That's what I like to collect. Here's something I picked up loose. This is actually a Redline Club car from Hot Wheels Collectors. And the name is off the screen. It's called Try Baby 2. And it's the same thing. They'll do like a raffle if you open up your club cars. Then you get an extra ticket for the raffle. So look, somebody opened it up. So I picked it up cheap. Well, I should say cheaper. I shouldn't say cheap. I don't know what I paid. $5? I don't know. It says Try Baby 2 in the decorations. Kind of a nod to the original Try Baby, which was a Redline. I was hearing rattling. Oh, sure enough. Wow. Check that out. This is not a $1 car. As a matter of fact, I don't know. I don't even know how many releases they've done. This might be the only color. I don't know. Even though I do belong to the Redline Club, I just don't memorize every single car. So there you have their Redline wheels, plastic Redline tires, metal base, I believe. Yep, metal base. There you have Try Baby 2, 2009. So this car's over 5 years old when it was originally released. And I love these. They call them neo-classic tires. I love them, but there's a lot of people who like real riders, rubber tires. So it's almost like a constant battle between what are they going to produce? Are they going to produce cars with the Redline type cars from the 60s or modern with real riders? It just depends on the car, I guess. How about some green? Here's the Toyota MR2. This is a long gone casting. We haven't seen a release of this in a long time. In the back, I have an MR2 imprint for the license plate. White interior. I off the top of my head, don't know if this came from a 5-pack or what its original release was. And going back to Highway 35, that was the first one I showed you. There's a Highway 35. No, there's an accelerator. Appeared first in the accelerators line. You have riveted, very nice in green, plastic body, metal base. There's the name, riveted. Looking good. And I do have another sample of Super Blitzen. Very good track car. Look forward to using them on my new Track Time channel. I'm sure you know why I bought that one too. It's the Bling Chevy Avalanche. This one came from a Heat Fleet 5-pack, I do believe. I have a couple of the 5-packs. I don't recall if I have this truck open up and loose. So now I got one loose. Didn't have to buy a whole nother 5-pack. Love the bling wheels. Unfortunately, for the Hot Wheels basic line, we never got to see a regular Avalanche. They came out with this blings version. That's all right. It doesn't work very good on the track, and you guys who are track fans, you know why. I don't have to tell you. So I bought this. This one I like because I drive a Chevy Avalanche. I like to collect them. Red, white, and blue. That's why I bought that one. Here's a truck. Well, SUV. Since we're talking about the Chevy Avalanche, here's another Chevy Tahoe. The 07 Chevy Tahoe. Has a Hot Wheels City Mayor on this side. So it might have came from a 5-pack. Kind of seems like it would be from one of those City Works 5-packs. And let's see, metal body, plastic chrome base. Who knows? Might go through the boosters, loops, and curves. I don't know. Let's do a couple blue ones. It's the blue Subaru Impreza. I do believe Subaru Impreza. C37 base code, and I think, what are we up to, K? So yeah, it's quite some years ago for this release. I don't know how many samples I have. This is a metal base, plastic body. Works good in the, it's definitely a track car. Looks good with those wheels. Like the graphics. Another blue one. Fast Fuse. This model actually didn't see a release for a long time. And then it got like a multi-pack recolor. This one's from a 5-pack, a police 5-pack, I do believe. Needless to say, not so good for the loops, going to be dragging. But you know, sometimes I make track layouts with just no loops, right? And then that's when Fast Fused gets a chance. So this hinders its loops, right? And this little thing sticking out the side kind of drags on the side of the track. So, you know, just kind of a cool car to collect. It's up to you. This car here, it has sheriff's decos, but it's one of those cars where for a long time, we used to get questions all the time from people finding their cars, and they would say, hey, show me the 93 Warner. No, it's not called the 93 Warner. There's no name on the base, actually. It's because I think it was released with a series of movie cars, and so that's why it got the Warner, like Warner Brothers, information on the base. Demolition Man, I believe, was the name of the movie it was released with. But for a long time, that's how the base looked. Thankfully, they changed the base, so now you know what the actual name of the car is. It says Aurora on the base, and it's the Oldsmobile Aurora. So that's thank you for putting the name on the base. Nowadays, they actually put like a code. They put a code on the base. And you know, all you got to do is take that code, put it on the internet, just put Hot Wheels in that code, and then you'll find out the name of that car. 3 cars left. Super Nat. It's a little pocket rocket. This one got a lot of releases earlier in the day. As a matter of fact, this one they used, it was in play sets and stuff like that, this color. I remember seeing it, but it was one of those cars. Maybe the guy had a deal to where you buy 10 cars, $5. So some of the cars, I just had to get more cars just to for the $5 or whatever. Of course, Tumbler, the Batmobile Tumbler, and it doesn't actually have a name, Tumbler. Dark Knight Batmobile. I can't keep track, but I definitely wanted this one because a lot of the Tumblers have bumpy wheels, right? So this one right here, this one has smoother wheels, so it should do better in the boosters, loops, and curves. And last but not least, here we have an Easter release. Mitsubishi Eclipse. Let me check. Yeah, Mitsubishi Eclipse. It might have been part of the Tuned series, as you can tell. It's a little cartoony looking. The proportions, right? It's a bit distorted. Not a whole lot of releases of this one either. That's why I went ahead and picked up an extra. Thanks for kicking back with me, taking a look at some cars Here's some playlists that are related to this video and something else too. Thank you for watching. Happy collecting. Bye bye.